George Williams was born in Dunedin in 1890 and attended Caversham School. Growing up, he was a keen volunteer in the Caversham Rifles, and when the Territorial Army system replaced the volunteers, he became a sergeant in the 4th Otago Regiment. When war was declared in August 1914, George was a skilled machinist at the Hillside Railway Workshops and living with his widowed mother in South Dunedin. He enlisted for war service immediately, travelling to Wellington in a bid to join the expeditionary force to Samoa. Finding its role complete, he came straight back to Dunedin to join the main body of the New Zealand Expeditionary Force, slotting in as a private in the 4th Dunedin Company of the Otago Infantry Battalion. They sailed for Egypt in October 1914, and after several months of training in the desert around Egypt, the Otagos embarked for the Dardanelles on 15 April 1915. As the invasion force for the Gallipoli campaign assembled at the island of Lemnos, George was struck down with tonsillitis. But he recovered just in time to land at Gallipoli with the rest of the Otago battalion on the afternoon of 25 April and took up a defensive position on Pluggy's Plateau above the beach at Anzac. The Otago men were responsible for covering any retreat in case the landing was repulsed. Despite failing to take their initial objectives, however, the Anzac forces dug in on the narrow beachhead as night fell on 25 April, the Otago battalion subsequently moving to positions on Walker's Ridge. A week later, they were set to lead a renewed attack on the critical ridge, Baby 700, just ahead of the Anzac line. Nothing went to plan, unfortunately, and the Otagos arrived late to their starting line and were then exposed to withering machine gun fire from well-entrenched Turkish defenders. The casualty toll was horrific, but George managed to survive that action. However, sometime later, George was then killed on the beach where the Otagos had been withdrawn prior to going south to Cape Helles to support the British advance there. He was buried by an army chaplain at the beach cemetery and is one of the few New Zealand soldiers at Gallipoli to have a known grave.